So what you're going to need, you're going to need some raspberries. I like to use frozen raspberries because fresh raspberries are too expensive. You'll need some caster sugar, a wooden spoon, a fine sieve, a pot, and a food processor. So a few people have told me that what I did with the pears was a little bit long, half an hour is a bit too long, so I'm going to cut this a lot shorter. First of all, put your raspberries into your pot. These are also quite good for a healthy snack. If you want frozen raspberries, they're very nice. Want a bit of variation on ice cream and things like that, get some frozen fruit. So the next step is caster sugar. Now when you're making a raspberry coulis, obviously it's the taste. So however sweet you want it, you add a little bit more sugar. If you don't want it sweet, you want a little bit more tart sort of flavour like the raspberries are, you only add a little bit of sugar. I like to add to one packet, which is 500 grams, I like to add about 500 grams of sugar. So equal parts. So I like mine quite sweet. A bit like my women. So to that, seeing as though they're frozen, they've taken on a lot of water so far, so you just want to add a little bit of water to the equal parts of 500 grams. So I'd be adding about a cup of water to this. So you end up with something that looks like that, and you just want to give that a bit of a stir around, mix it up quite well. Now, a chef that I had once upon a time told me whenever you're stirring things or whisking things, it's always best to keep your arm to your side and use your forearm. So he made me hold a plate under my arm for 20 minutes at a time while I was whisking something, maybe if I was doing a hollandaise sauce or something like that. And he told me if I dropped the plate I'd be in big trouble. So then that goes onto the stove on a high heat until that comes to the boil. When it comes to the boil, you want to put it down to a simmer, but you don't want to simmer it too long. You don't want these to be too soft. Okay, so when it gets to this stage, you can see that it's starting to boil at the sides. That's when you want to take it off. Take it off simply because the residual temperature from that will start to cook and continue to cook. Well, it's not start to cook, but continue to cook the whole way. So when you've taken that off, grab yourself a ladle. Then what you want to do, if you have a problem with this and it's too thick or it's too thin, you can always add some corn flour to it if it's too thin, or a roux. It depends, but a roux will cloud it up a little bit, and corn flour also do the same thing. But if you're absolutely desperate, you can. If it's too thick, just add some more water to it, it'll be fine. So what you want to do is ladle it into your food processor. Put the lid on. And because I don't have a lid, I just use a saucer. I don't know where I put the lid. I had a cocktail night and I don't remember much from it. So what you want to do is just plug it into the wall so it works, because these things generally run on electricity. Just in case, put yourself a towel over the top. Grab yourself a bowl. Take your fine strainer. And simply pour it through the fine strainer. Grab your ladle, just work it through. What this will do is it will help to take out a lot of the seeds that you don't want in the coulis. Sometimes you get some seeds in there, it really doesn't matter. I think it's nice with the seeds in there because it leaves a little bit more of a rustic sort of result. But get the majority of the seeds out there. They're all seeds, it's what you end up with. Pretty yuck. Keep that on there and just continue the process. As you can see, we've disposed of a lot of the seeds, they become trapped in there. They're like a very glutinous sort of paste, which you don't want in there. And what we've got in the bowl is we've got all the good stuff. So this is our final product down here. This lovely raspberry, red raspberry. Now what you want to do is you want to cool this down immediately, and you serve coulis cool, and you can do this with a lot of different variations. You can make a coulis out of any fruit, really, such as mangoes, mixed berries, and things like that. So all you just need is the fruit. I think it's best to freeze it and then make the coulis that way, but you can make the coulis straight away from fresh fruit. Alright, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to test you. I'm going to ask you which one you think is the tomato sauce and which one you think is the raspberry coulis. So, here we go. Okay, what's that? Okay, now what's that? That, my friends, is raspberry coulis, and it's just such a beautiful red raspberry colour. It's just fantastic, as opposed to your tomato sauce. Tomato sauce looks brown, as you can see. So it's just beautiful.
That's all, folks.